Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. Voice of opinion and place your calling. WB. Be yourself, see yourself. This is a show, my people. Billies our hopes so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out. This the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah. No respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes. WB. And all the things that we happen and not got blue skies. And nothing that people get victimized. Let's work together for better. We got to unite. Billies, yeah. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. Another day is here. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. We gotta keep moving. Na. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. Voice of opinion and place your calling. WB. Get up, make every day count. Don't waste it, people. Do your part, play around, get where you need to. Look and tune in for work or in your vehicle. If you got a problem, pick up the phone. Why wait till the time calling? It's the show with no matter even if you're at home. Just call in. WB. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. Another day is here. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. We gotta keep moving. Na. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. Voice of opinion and place your calling. WB. Be yourself, see yourself. This is a show, my people. Billies our hopes so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out. This the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah. No respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes. WB. And all the things that will happen and not got blue skies. And nothing that people get victimized. Let's work together for better. We got to unite. Billies, yeah. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. Another day is here. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. We gotta keep moving. Na. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Billies. Wake up, Billies. Voice of opinion and place your calling. WB.
This morning, guys. Talk show here on XTV and simulcasting on Creme Radio. I'm Sister YaYa, Marin Coleman, sitting in for Brother Noor Mohammed this morning. And it's Friday, June 6, 2025. Friday! End of the week for most people who work 9 to 5 or 8 to 5. It's that time of the day when we get to spend the next 2.5 hours together and reason with each other, listen to each other, vibes up as a Belizean community. The lineup is usually that we will start off with the weather forecast by the Belize National Meteorological Service. And the forecaster today is Tariq Matthews. And then XTV Newsroom prepare the first news brief for the morning. And when I share that, then take one quick break. And then a time for we reason with one another.
Good morning, Belize. Relatively moist and somewhat unstable conditions prevail. The 24-hour forecast was sunny with some cloudy spells today and cloudy at times tonight. Shower activity will be generally isolated with a medium chance of slightly more occurring over central and northern areas today. Then, a few showers and isolated thunderstorms will affect mostly the south and some central areas tonight. The maximum temperatures for today will reach 87 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 92 inland and 82 up in the hills. The lower temperatures for tonight will be around 82 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 74 inland and 67 up in the hills. The winds from the open sea will be from the east at 10 to 20 knots with higher gusts, and the sea conditions will be moderate to rough. A small craft caution remains in effect for occasionally gusty winds and local rough seas beyond the barrier reef. Operators of small craft are advised to exercise caution. A high tide will occur this morning at 6:20. A low tide this afternoon at 1:42, another high tide tonight at 7:44, and another low tide just after midnight at 12:53. The sun rose this morning at 5:17 and will set this evening at 6:25. The moon will rise this afternoon at 2:44 and will set early tomorrow morning at 2:26. In the sargassum forecast, there continues to be a moderate to high risk that more sargassum could affect the country during the next few days. The outlook for Saturday and Saturday night: skies will be cloudy at times. A few showers and possible isolated thunderstorm will affect mainly central and southern areas on Saturday, then mostly over the south Saturday night. Elsewhere, shower activity will be isolated. In the tropical weather outlook, tropical cyclone formation is not expected during the next 48 hours over the North Atlantic Basin. For a review of our forecast and other products, please visit our website at nms.gov.bz. With that, we end this morning's forecast from the Belize National Met Service.
The first private radio in Belize since 1989, Creme FM presents the news. Informative, accurate, current information, local, regional, and international news, weather and sports. And now, the news.
The government, in a letter signed by the Minister of State, Chris Kawe, responded to the Joint Unions Negotiating Team (JUNT) late Thursday and notified it was increasing its salary adjustment proposal to 4%, up from the previous 3%. The adjustment would still be with effect from October 1, 2025. As to the remaining 4.5%, the government says that the increase would be phased in over the following 2 fiscal years, but subject to the implementation of pension reform in 2 phases. Mutual agreement on measures related to cost savings and revenue enhancement, and appropriate measures that tie both salary increases and increments to satisfactory performance. The offer for an additional increment at the start of fiscal year 2026-2027 remains unchanged, but the government has clarified that it only has 2 outstanding increments to teachers, not 3, because it was understood that the one withheld under the Barrow administration was foregone completely. On the matter of the minimum wage increase to $6 that the JUNT had asked to be applied to the public service without delay, the government stated this is a Plan Belize 2.0 commitment, quote, to the Belizean people and not to any specific category thereof, end quote. As we reported, the Public Service Union president stated that their increase request was not meant to be applicable to the private sector. As regards pension, the first phase would include a contributory pension scheme for new employees, including the increase of the retirement age to 60 with effect from October 1, 2025, while the second phase would include a contributory pension scheme for existing workers as early as possible, taking into consideration the ongoing comprehensive salary review for the public service. Police in Dangriga have summoned to court 11 teachers who protested at Mile 2 on George Price Drive Tuesday morning. They are Ifashina Efonuemi, Rosalind Cornelius, Denise Henry, Derek Martinez, Eli Vialata, Loretta Montero, Fidalia Castillo, Victor Williams, Clifton Lorenzo, Francis Williams, and Denrick Walton. Those who had not yet been located by police in the day made their way to the police station to receive their summons. In the case of the teachers who used their vehicle to obstruct traffic citing mechanical troubles, they have been charged under the Motor Vehicle and Road Traffic Regulations for, quote, causing unnecessary obstruction, end quote. Their court date is Wednesday, July 11 at 9 a.m. Our reports are that they have also been slapped with 2 other charges. Before going to the police station, Efunuemi, the secretary of the Stan Creek branch of the BNTU, expressed how she feels that she was deemed a wanted person as, according to reports, she was being sought by police.
How do I feel? maybe I could use the word disappointed, right? Because I am a law-abiding citizen, I am a warrior for the people, and everybody who knows me knows that. And this has been for many years, for decades now. I have been doing that, fighting for this country, fighting for anyone that is disadvantaged in this country, including police officers. So it is an outrage that they would now take a stance against me when I have been fighting and speaking up on their behalf as well as my own. You know, this is not like I'm fighting just for Ifashina Efunyemi or just for teachers. The fight is for all of us who are being abused by the government. They are the ones that committed the offense by withholding our increment. They are the ones that took 10% of our salaries by force. They are the ones that are depriving us and ensuring that we can't even survive the current situation, even as they are boasting that our economy is so beautiful. Then they'll turn around and say, like we stupid, you see, that, oh, we don't have it to give. And yet they're giving away tax breaks, millions and millions in tax breaks. So it's unacceptable.
Several attorneys have come together to represent the teachers. They include Sharon Pitts and Norman Rodriguez, among others. Rodriguez explained why he's taking up the cause and said they expect other teachers to be charged as well.
I saw what was happening. I saw the teachers out there trying to fight for what is rightfully theirs, enduring the hot sun and mechanical failures in their vehicles. So I offered to assist. I don't like injustice. What the teachers are requesting is something small that the government should find a way to ensure that they get what they deserve. I mean, recently we've had all kinds of contracts being awarded to undeserving people at the municipal and the national level. We've had payouts being given or increases in salaries to less undeserving than the teachers. So I saw their plight and I decided to join them in the best way that I can, and that is to represent them. Now we have 11 teachers, and there may be more in the near future who will be added to that list.
For his part, when the media caught up with Financial Secretary Joseph Waite coming out of the meeting with the workers from the KHMH who are agitating for pension, he suggested we may need more tax dollars to meet the salary increase requested by teachers and public officers.
The point increase is $7 million or so for 1 percentage point.
Yeah, and
do the math.
So you all are crunching those numbers.
Yeah, we have to do it every day, but then the question is, one thing is to determine how much it costs. Bigger question, how you pay for it.
Yeah, so the government is saying, and the percentage is saying they can't afford it at this time. Is that what you're also saying?
We can hardly afford what we're doing right now, but we have to look at it and we have to see where things come. Hopefully we don't have to raise taxes, but you never know.
Meanwhile, accompanied by National Trade Union Congress Senator Glenfield Dennison and attorney Arthur Saldiva, the BNTU's national president Nadia Martin Callis showed up late Thursday afternoon at the Belmopan police station for a meeting with the Commissioner of Police, Dr. Richard Rosado. This is after reports circulating from early in the morning that there was a warrant out for her arrest to be charged as the presumed ringleader of the teachers' protests Wednesday in different parts of the country.
The police commissioner is asking for a meeting now. I have also received information, and I would say an allegation, that there was a warrant for my arrest. I don't know what I did. I was taken aback by that, and I'm happy now that we have gone from a warrant to a meeting, because I'm very much interested in what is going on and all the allegations surrounding my name.
So as far as you know, this is just a meeting, you won't be charged?
As far as I know, it's just a meeting. I haven't done anything, and if expressing my democratic right is now a crime in this country, then we have to pay attention to the Belize Constitution, what is going on with that. And I'm not going to live in fear and dwindle away and all of that. No, I am a born Belizean. I love every single blade of grass, everything Belizean. But nobody is going to, and nobody, is going to take that away from me. In every essence of what it means to be a Belizean, nobody.
What do you make of your teachers being charged?
Well, it's a scare tactic. I call it a scare tactic. And Like I said, when you live in a democratic country, you have every right to express yourself. Yes, of course, with rights comes responsibility, but we have to look at the evidence before we assume that what they're saying is actually like that. Because on DIFA radio station, you can see the entire incident from beginning to end. And so when you look at the charges and what transpired, they're not corresponding at all. They're not matching.
What was your first reaction when you got the notice that your teachers are being summoned?
I was taken aback. I was wondering why is it that they're being charged? Because what I saw when I saw the recording, for me, doesn't call for charging. Yeah. At all. Any kind of charges to be levied against my teachers. The police aggravated the situation. They did. If you look across the country, when the other teachers did their demonstration, did you see them being aggressed? You didn't see that happening. So somebody talked to somebody, and I'm happy that they did. Because as the leader of the BNTU, I'm not happy with that kind of treatment, because we never come out to aggress anybody. But you have to understand too, if you aggress me, then I have a right to defend myself. Again, it's a democratic country.
In this conversation with the compol, are you going to push to have those charges dropped against your teachers?
I need to hear what he has to say first. That is very important. Because I know that while he'll be talking to me, he's also talking for those who are behind the scenes. And I need to understand where the people behind the scenes, what they're actually thinking. What is it that they want? What is it that they fear? But they know what my teachers want. They want a salary adjustment. They want a pay system that will allow them to be paid on time. And if they're not paid on time, for something to be put in place for them to get their salary, instead of waiting for 2 months, 3 months, 4 months down the road. There are a lot of changes that they need to make. And they should not be afraid of making the changes, because they asked us for a vote on March 12th. They're back in power. Just do the damn thing.
You're backed by the Association of Defense Attorneys. How does that feel?
I'm backed by so many different people, Mr. Wade. I must tell you, when the word spread, I had so many calls, text messages, people I don't even know, organizations I didn't even know exist in this country, saying that whenever you're arrested, let us know, and we're coming with our busloads, we're coming. My teachers are saying that they're walking out, they're doing this. So I'm not really a fan of a riot unless it is truly necessary. Yeah. But if my people feel that they need to come and represent their leader like that, then I'm honored and I'm touched. I'm very touched by that.
The Belize Airports Authority, BAA, Thursday issued a press release announcing the immediate suspension of the controversial security contracts with both iSecurity and 4Diamond, which total some $28.5 million over a span of 10 years. The release states that following a board meeting, the BAA declared the security contracts granted under the previous board's administration immediately suspended. It added that the newly formed board of directors is thoroughly investigating the due diligence and procurement procedures used by the former board members. A legal opinion regarding the validity of the contracts has also been requested, and the board has decided to immediately suspend all payments under those contracts while the board conducts its investigation and obtains a legal review and opinion. Without naming the new chair, the release quotes them as saying, quote, "After careful examination, it appears as though the proper procedures may not have been observed in the award of these security contracts. The new board has taken swift action to rectify this matter and ensure that all future contracts are awarded in full compliance with Belizean laws and best practices," end quote. The release assures that the BAA will initiate a new tender process to secure qualified security service providers and promises that this process will be transparent. The BAA also reassured Belizeans and stakeholders that airport security remains a top priority and that operations will not be disrupted during the transition period. Belize Telemedia Limited, the majority government-owned telecoms company, has responded to reports that it intends to buy over its competitor, Smart and Centaur Communications, as well as CTI NextGen, in what is projected to be a massive multi-million-dollar deal. Members of the Briceño family have minority shares in Smart, and in the case of Centaur Communications, the cable provider company was founded by brothers John and Jaime Briceño back in 1990. Internet service provider CTI NextGen is owned by Pete Lizarraga, the brother of the chairman of BTL's board, Markelem Lizarraga. While the report is that the deal has already been approved by the BTL board, in its press release issued late Wednesday, BTL stated only that, quote, such discussions are not new, locally or globally, end quote. It added that BTL and other operators have discussed proposals for amalgamation since 2018 and stated, quote, as Belize's only provider for fully bundled 5-place services, Digitel, Digicel, Diginet, DigiTV, and DigiWallet, we have consistently leveraged our unique market position to pursue strategic opportunities that strengthen and diversify our revenue base, which aligns with our evolution journey from telco to techco. Our leadership is launching 4G Lite Advanced, full fiber to the home, our fintech company DigiWallet, and our TV content provider DigiTV reflect some of our recent transformation, end quote. The company affirms that any, quote, potential future consolidation would be guided by the goal of strengthening our national telecom to the benefit of the people of Belize. In any economy, small or large, reducing unnecessary duplication and maximizing the use of underutilized capacity in this capital-intensive industry unlocks efficiencies, end quote. According to BTL, this would lead to enhanced services that would bring better value for consumers and a better return for its 1,500 shareholders. The board comprises Deputy Chairman Jorge Espat and Directors Alan Pollard, Jose Urbina, Eric Yuse, Melissa Balderramos Mahler, Chandra Nisbet Cancina, Imogen Habet, Moises Cal, Narda Garcia, and Marilyn Young. That brings us to the end of this morning's news brief, Friday morning. You could tune in to Crime Radio immediately following this talk show this morning to get more recent news and commentary. And then at 12:30 there's a full news package, at 3 o'clock a news brief, 5:15 full news package on Crime Radio. On XTV, there's a full news package at 6 o'clock this evening. Stay tuned, quick break, and then we will come back and reason.
The first private radio in Belize since 1989, Creme FM presents the news.
In the heart of a thriving country, Atlantic Bank stands as more than just a financial institution. We are family and your steadfast partner in success throughout every step of your journey. Our unwavering focus remains on continually enhancing your experience through innovation. From the traditional banking services to cutting-edge online and mobile banking services, we make your life easy, convenient, and secure. We deeply value the relationships and trust placed in us over the years. This trust has enabled us to support and realize the dreams of our personal customers, be the driving force behind the development of micro, small, and medium businesses, and the preferred partner to our corporate clients. We are committed to serving our communities and making a positive impact. By prioritizing financial inclusion, we ensure that everyone has access to the financial tools and resources they need to thrive. We are your partner in progress, serving you with excellence and professionalism and providing real-life solutions. Today and for generations to come, let's continue building the future together.
Amandala is now online. You can now access Amandala's midweek and weekend issues online by logging on to our website at amandala.com.bz/news and joining our membership portal today. There's 5 easy steps to get unlimited access to weekly e-paper, archive publications, and a host of other exclusive contents. Number 1, go to Amandala's website. Number 2, navigate to subscribe areas. Number 3, choose a membership level. Number 4, check out using our secured portal. Number 5, log into the members only section. Telephone numbers 501-280-4703 or 202-4477. Fax us at 501-222-4702, or you could email at amandalapress@yahoo.com or amandalapress@gmail.com. Amandala, all power to the people.
Imagine getting rewards for your spending. Smart prepaid customers countrywide, it's time to level up with Smart Gains. Smart Gains are exclusive, limited time offers sent straight to your phone. We're talking irresistible rewards. You'll actually want extra credit, bonus data, and exclusive perks, all tailored to you. Because at Smart, we've always got your back. Don't miss out on rewards made just for you. Smart Gains, Smart Savings, Smart You. Smart, bringing people together.
Welcome back to Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. We're going to be together for the next 2 hours to make much of it. The phone number for call at 280-5848. I had a rare moment this morning and I have no book. I feel lost. This is unusual for me, so I need for Colleen, because if I had my books, then I'm like, okay, then Colleen, I could refer to my books. So I needed them for Colleen. It's Friday morning. That means it's a Mandala morning. Get in our Mandala newspaper, $1.50. The headlines are: deadline passed, teachers stage traffic protest. Deadline passed, teachers stage traffic protest. And then multiple sporadic teachers protests choke traffic at different locations. Digit to buy competitors. Belize at 44, stronger together, rising forever. And St. Catherine's Academy graduates 162 students. It is graduation season. I begged for Ghana graduation last night. The bliss, it was Maud Williams High School graduation, the 22nd. graduation from Maud Williams, one of the Southside high schools. And again, because I have their names, I can see if I have their names. There's some youths that I knew when they were very young. I would say maybe 7 and 5. I mean, know them for a short period of their lives, and then I think I might have been sitting 1 or 2 times during primary school. And then I don't sit there again, so I don't know if I sit there again, I want to know them. In the week, I'm going to walk on Youth for the Future drive because I had to meet Kenny Morgan for buy one of my poetry books. If I don't buy Kenny Morgan poetry books, then you have to sleep up. And you forget then $20 each. The gift store in front of the Image Factory. No, you go to Image Factory and you could get that image. Imagination Factory on Northfront Street. Get Kenny Morgan book of poetry. And anyways, so when I get the book, he make mention about one of the students were passed and they had their graduation gown. So I just look up and I said 2 youth males, 1 female with their graduation outfit, and I start to walk and one of the young men and look back, and I look back twice, and then I recognize that these youths were in a city for all these years and they've done well. Black youths graduating from Sadie Vernon. Matter of fact, Charleston Castillo gave the vote of thanks, and he had a brother named Dana Myers. So I want to congratulate the class of 2025 in the entire country, but special mention to Maud Williams High School students. They had a tough guest speaker, former career educator, brilliant sister, good hearts, Sister Georgia. What is Sister Georgia last name? I have the program right here. Sister Georgia Griffith, educator and counselor, was the guest speaker. And one of the best parts of the graduation for me, in my shot, hour and a half, and we were out of bliss. I think if I ask most people, I don't want to ask them to call me, 280-5848. 280-5848. I want to ask them if you remember anything about the graduation ceremony, if I don't know who the guest speaker and what you talk about. Like, I don't know why. I know there's a traditional way of doing things, but I so sick and tired of hearing a graduation song. Na. Tired of hearing it. There got to be another song. Goodness gracious me, it's 2025. Can we be original in our thoughts? And I was surprised the students at Maud Williams, it's at 2025, you know. They did a special selection. I needed to come along when I sing a country and western song. They had their own twist on it, but I'm like, youths in a 2025 like country and western songs? I don't think so. I don't really want to allow the youths then for, now you know they are calling some songs when don't want to be appropriate. They're not youth, never push the boundaries. But come on, at 2025, make we feel the youths them vibes. And I had to tell your parents and guardians and adults gone all out. They were just sparkling. For the females, it seemed like glittery thing on your shoes, and the shoes were tie up. I guess, I don't know what I call it. Then I got 2 string and then you wrap them around your calf. That seems to have been the thing for the females. Of course, they have nails done, makeup, hair done, gongs. The brothers were sharp looking. Well, they had a necktie, one bow tie, haircut. Children then just smell good, look good. And I think one of the things I heard I think the principal said, what I did try to remember, it had something to do with, I don't want to say the wrong thing. But it's been a while, I think she said, since all the students met some academic criteria as fourth formers. But I really want to thank them people for a call and beg for invitation, and they left one at the door for me. Thanks, Maud Williams High School. It really was well organized. Stage looked good. It was good. I enjoyed the graduation. Long time I gone on graduation. I tend to not go to graduation because I find them boring and extremely long. I never graduated from high school. I graduated from technical. I'm gone that I'm at Old Civic Center. I'm gone that graduation. My graduation, so I gone. After that, I think I got now one more my graduation, just remember. But after that, I stopped going to graduation. I tell them just mail my paper because I find them boring, really. On a call 2805848, and whatever I want to talk about, that's what we're here for this morning. I don't know if I miss it, but has anyone heard from the Ministry of Education as it relates to the rape that happened at the high school in Belmopan? I don't hear nothing about it. The whole Ministry of Education accountable because they seem to have gotten quite comfortable with the Blover Lake Libri situation, and they not come to the public. They not have one press conference. They not give interviews. Then just not talk to we no more. And as long as we accept it, then continue with what I consider for be bad behavior. So Ministry of Education on a really need for come forward and talk to the Belizean people. And not only about that, I feel bad because we really should remember the young student from Stella Maris who had left the school compound and drowned. There was supposed to be an investigation, and I don't hear nothing about the investigation. And so since I have the opportunity right now, I'd ask for, the student's name was Gabriel Oriano. He was 6 years old, and this happened in early February 2025. February, March, April, May, June. Over 4 months. What is the status of that investigation, Ministry of Education? On the need to come forward, on the need to talk to the people of Belize. Belizean people, how we allow this? This is just one ministry where I declassify have one practice of bad behavior now. They not talk to we. They not reason with we. They not respond to we concerns in a meaningful way. So this young student is one of the concerns from the Ministry of Education, Gabriel Oriano. We want to know the status of that investigative process into his death. So that's one outstanding thing. Ministry of Education. 2, today day 276 since United Black Association for Development Educational Foundation started our natural hair campaign. And we're calling at least once a week, most weeks, for share with Belizean people that hair discrimination is a human rights violation. It's a part of racism and it's unacceptable. And the Ministry of Education needs to, along with YaYa Educational Foundation and other partners, make we have one sit down and reason about a natural hair policy. This school year not even start yet for 2025, 2026. And we done get 2 reports, most recently out of ACC, this time with male students. When we have started this campaign, it was because some female students from Anglican Cathedral College made a complaint about the policing of their hair. Now we got maybe, I don't know if that was over 2 months ago, it was the male students complaining. Now, what is unacceptable, Ministry of Education, Minister of Education, what's unacceptable is that you keep having these violations and clearly the Ministry of Education guilty for not do something for make the behavior stop. Majority of the students are African students racialized as black people. I'm at the position that is, I ask, if they never black students, if the majority of the never black students, would I come out and say something? Because this is on paper, the second international decade for people of African descent. You know, the first decade, enough justice never get done. So this is the time for states will sign on to that international agreement for follow through with consistent action. And I asked for call at 7:10. I really don't want to talk till 7:30. The number at 280-5848. I'm having a conversation with listeners, viewers, those streaming online, the simulcast on Creme Radio, live streaming on Facebook and YouTube, XTV Belize, and to say that Ministry of Education needs to respond to these community concerns. You have one duty. And then Ministry of Education again, when it comes to the rape of a student by another student, they were minors, 14 and 13 years old. We not hear nothing from UNO. To the cabinet members, what make UNO think that it's okay because UNO get one majority vote, that UNO could just disregard Belizean people and not come with no attitude when UNO come, if UNO come. Humble yourself. As Belizean people, we have one right, one duty, and we need to do it more. For asking the questions, for the research before we come to UNO, so UNO can't just come tell we anything and think we going at it. We as Belizeans have one responsibility, one duty for learn, so that when we engage people in a power and influence, that we know what we to talk about. Belizean people, it's up to we. Only the people want to save the people. Nobody could represent people's interests like people could represent their own interests, because that we that live with the hardships, the sufferings, the injustices most of the time. So Ministry of Education, Minister of Education, Oscar Kenya, call forward. I would recommend calling a press conference, and we don't have to hurry up with the press conference. There's so much matters that we need to discuss with the Ministry of Education. And not just the ministry we had to talk about this morning. They're not the only ministry. We are the one we had to talk about this morning. Ministry of Education again. To my understanding, there is no longer a literacy unit. Why Ministry of Education? Morning, Carla. Thank you so much. It's difficult. I need you, excuse me, good morning. I need you to turn down the volume. Thank you, because I couldn't hear you. Okay. Thank you so much for calling in. Shut up.
You know, I heard the teacher saying they want 8.5% raise. And I understand too that the government said, okay, we are share that in a 4 and 4.5 or something like that in 2 fields, no?
I listen.
Yeah, and so I said, why the teacher is making this fuss when you don't even work for that money yet? You understand what I'm trying to say? So there was one whole argument forever since we're in the 50s, correct down to now. They call it, I want my raise, they better give me that. And I try understand when the government give up the salary to the executive who pays the teacher, fix out their pay sheet and things. I want to know directly who is doing the teacher wrong. The government or the executive to them that they work under. Government cannot hire a teacher and cannot fire a teacher. Good morning, sister. Explain a little bit more to me based on what I'm saying.
Okay, brother. Thank you for the call. I invite the Belize National Teachers Union for representative for calling. I give people the opportunity for telling their own story. The skinny of it, how I understand it, is that there were increments given to public servants based on performance. That's the part of the public service regulations. And these teachers, they never get their increment, 1 under the former administration, 2 under this administration. When I read the news this morning, the teachers are saying there are 3 increments. The state is saying there's only 2. So I just say, how the state come to ask, because I don't know, how the state come to the conclusion? Now, this the Once you meet the requirement for get your increment, then you should, the employers you really need to call in. Then you need for, you know, they ask you your questions and look for your work, and if you forget your increment, you get it. How the state come to the conclusion that the increment under the former administration, that one dead deal, and forget about it? How, what the law say about that? How the state make that decision? So I could see why the teachers, and they said that 3 outstanding increments, the state said that only 2. Then the teachers then ask for an increase. I mean, the cost of living gone up, then they ask for an increase. They also ask for an increase in the minimum wage. The state come back and say that the part of the manifesto that they want increased minimum wage. They never for no special sector like the public sector workers. And then the union representatives say, we not going to look upon private sector. We need to look upon public sector when we ask about an increase from $5 to $6 minimum wage. And then, this is the part now, because you know then they're loggerheads, the unions and the state for a while about this. So at least it new to me. I said, oh, that's how they want to play this game? No, then they say, all right, teachers, since you know won't stop, we'll tell them no, we can't afford it. No, then can we afford to give the cabinet secretary and the chief executive officers one increase? Then and give them do it retroactively. General election on the 12th of March. Then say starting the 13th of March on the money will increase. But now when teachers and the public servants they ask for an increase, the new WUB is we'll have to increase taxes. No, that are working people, you know. That are not nothing frivolous for increased taxes on people. No, I ask. Remember now, when they agreed to the blue bond, which is a loan and having to meet some conservation goals, one of the advisor to the state say that may either, indeed the government may be between a rock and a hard place. We have bad name out a road for not meeting our loan obligations. Malpalgo we had to pay. So we don't got no credibility out the road. The government need the money. So that may either go along with the blue bond option, or they may have to follow the IMF, International Monetary Fund, austerity measures, what I usually make a public servants, you have less public servants, people have to get fired. Usually the bulk of the social services money where people need for feel on better quality of life, that may get slashed. And third, taxes may increase. So I just say when I hear the state they say taxes will have to increase to give them teachers the demand. So I just say, what different between what the IMF may offer the blue bond? Because now social services can leave bit of money in this budget. You talk about increase taxes, and even with the amount of employees in the government service, we get reports of ghost workers, people who collect our money and they show up that work. So I just ask, what the difference between what we actually live right now and IMF austerity measures? I don't know. If anybody anybody in a leadership for the union there, ask them to please call 280-5848. And this the way, I can't stop saying this enough to leadership, especially leadership of unions, leadership of non-governmental organizations, political leadership, people in a leadership in a whatever capacity. It absolutely matters to Belizean people that you make one effort for talk with we consistently, for share information, for share knowledge. So that when you have one challenge with people in a power and influence, and you come to we, you don't make one effort for develop a relationship with we. You know they come to we because you got one challenge. Like year round, you share information with we, you build knowledge with we, so we become more aware. so that we could make sense of whatever your organization or your group support, so that when you have one challenge or one issue, we don't get information already, we could make sense out of it. One lot of Belizeans truly not understand the union and the state issue, no matter how much time it upon the news. Oftentimes, there's like one quarrelsome vibration. There's a conflict. That's not the best way to communicate with people, or the time for communicate with people, for make we understand. Now, I'm gonna bring this up a couple weeks ago, and Mose me say he don't know if he agree with my position as far as the timing of the conversation. Now, I don't know when that ever one good time for the Belizean public for have one conversation with teachers, management of schools, and the Ministry of Education. Now, when on the top about they have to charge more taxes, that we, the Belizean people, every time we go to a shop, we to pay taxes in a one form. The item, the amount of things we go to like grocery store go buy, what they not charge taxes on, that one shortly kunkulis compared to the length of things where they pan the list but we pay taxes for. When you start to look on a receipt, I see what a GST. Most everything I go to a shop go buy. So I know there's usually one person where if somebody no tell me like if you spend $1, how much we actually get out of it for the government? How much out of that $1? How much actually the government actually get? So we could have one idea how much of we tax, how much of we money actually funds the government, to make the government the way for do. And that's why really there should be an ongoing campaign about the budget, so Belizean people understand the budget and how it works and how what happen in that budget have everything for the quality of life where we live. So when on the top about increase the taxes, that upon Belizean people want to take the penalty. Now for we salaries and wages not to go up, but the cost of everything else to go up. So who to advocate for the majority of Belizean people when not in our union, where they want entrepreneur, where they hustle? Who to look out for we interests? We still have to go to a shop, go buy. And so it's unfair. So the question being I'd ask is, are we getting value for our money from the teachers? That one fair question for ask. That we stand the wage bill and the majority of the budget go to pay salaries. So we have one right Belizean people for us, what we to get for it? Over and over again with the here that one lot of Belizean students are not literate. This current administration, other than standard 2 and 3 students, starting last year, academic year 2024, 2025, I think it's called Literacy Alive. That just last year, they said in the test, standard 2 and 3 students in a public schools or grant-aided schools. So what it's supposed to do, I don't know who to check for say if they really to do it, that when your children go in a standard 2, then for test them and say what in there as far as literacy, what skills they've mastered, what they weak in, what they need support in. By the time they finish standard 2, then for they want post-test, for say, okay, when they start in a standard 2, we don't want pre-test, and this is where their strengths and weaknesses. If they may do what they for do, when they do the post-test, which should be this month, because school they end this month, then they want to say what gains the students they make for going to standard 3, and for the standard 3 students for going to standard 4. Now, infant 1, infant 2, standard 1, standard 4, standard 5, standard 6. Students are not being tested. Morning, talk to me.
Good morning, sister.
Good morning.
Me again. When I hear just now say that how much the government get out of every dollar or something like that, they try to say. No, I don't really know.
So I just say, when we spend $1, how much at a dollar the government of Belize actually get for use for the management of the services when they give Belizean people. They don't get the whole dollar. So say that just 55 cents and they get out of the dollar, then they don't get, then we need to know that as a people. We need to know where every 1 cent go out of that dollar. We got so that we need to see if we get value for our money. All right. So let's say they make $5 an hour. You know that I work for 60 minutes and I get $5. Now, how I spend that $5 up to me. But I know every time I go to a shop, what I just get for $50, I don't get for $50 no more. So with that, because the prices are things at the shop, they go up, but my $5 not go up.
Okay, listen to this, babe. The things that go up in the shop. I would say like 70% of the things that we buy from the shop, we, the shopkeeper, are it because we believe don't have all this kind of thing we're selling at Brody, Public, and even the simple shops. We order most of our things.
So wait,
and I was always heard here a long time.
Wait. I don't understand what you're just done say. Are you saying that we import one lot of the stuff for and sell at the shop? That actually say?
Yeah, when the shopkeeper buy the thing from outside that we want, what we want, we believe not make or have or that we eat, like we buy this a kind of sausage, that the kind of meat, that the kind of cornflakes. They come from outside.
Yes, we imported. Okay, I got you now. Continue.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, go ahead.
So I'm saying that when the government gets his money from the business, they make all the money, but the government get a fringe of it that they tax them to have the business or whatever. But I'm saying that when we go to the shop and we buy, when we hear things go up outside or the thing they cost more with the shopkeeper, they tell me when they pay for it because it comes from outside, we have to learn to know how to stretch this dollar now. So if I used to buy 3 small packs of toilet paper, I reduce one. If I used to buy 5 tin of condensed milk, I reduce one. But I notice Belizeans just don't do that. They just raise up and all the thing they go up and I don't have no money to buy for that. I think we need to slow down. At this time, I mean this is 2025. And earlier days, we used to buy butter. You could go to the shop and buy 5 cent butter. You know, our plate of food at happy hour on Jar Street. The best food or the most expensive food was 35 cents with a plate. That was 1975, you know. But sudden one, the business people just begin to buy the thing for outside, yes, but begin to raise it crazily. And sudden one, in 1984, everything got sky high. You know why? The government then raised that wage bill, you know. You know what they say? We ain't going to ride in a no car like old George Spicer right now looking cheaper. So we will look, like first thing I said, we will look like statesmen with our necktie on and everything. And they came in like necktie. And we don't want them to be want better cars. All this kind of uplifting things, you see. And they did that. After they did that, hell break loose with cost of living. I think the teachers and public officers need to track back, you know, and put some blame on the people that had their increment and allowance from 2008. At 2009, the state government were gone. He said, I can't handle this year yet, but I'll handle it 2010. When 2010, they said, oh, we can't handle it. That went right up to 2020. You know what the teachers, they said? They went out there to demonstrate. And after that, the government said, you continue out there. He said, remember a conversation in Beijing when the Chinese people tell the government, I ain't going to move out Tiananmen Square. And you know the Chinese say, he says, listen to me. Who don't stay with my friends of mine and see what happened? And they said, At 5 in the morning, the government put the water tank and lower it just above their head. And they wake them up like 5 to 5. Get off Gentleman Square. They stand still. How they live on the first shell? You know how much people get trampled? And when the teachers in Belize City know that, the government know that, and they went on their strike, we done with the good on. You know what the Prime Minister said to them? He said, who don't go out there? Who remember Benjamin? Why he had to say that? But
I will have to go for a break time, but thanks for the reasoning.
Yes, sister.
Thanks for the call. Respect. It's break time, and 2 Cent Scam is being sponsored by Fort Point Security.
You're watching WB, and this is XTV. You don't know. Big Up Friday. We go get the people there. Big up. Who you want?
Hello. What pick up?
Big up who you want. Big up anybody who you want.
Big up Ken.
Ken.
All right. That's all right. Who you want big up? Come big up somebody in.
Big up Curdle.
Come on, all right. See, who do you want big up? Big up Friday. Big up your picnic name. Big up.
Big up Jasmine Street.
Ah?
We're just coming from America.
Who?
My brother when we're at Chicago.
All right.
Big up Brick City. Big up the whole block, you know.
Yeah.
You know, day one.
Big up Friday.
Yeah, big up on Friday, you know.
Don't say.
Big up Willie.
Now who you want big up? Big up yourself. Big up your flitters.
Big up the flitters today, man. Good Friday, brother.
All right. Well.
Big up Blacks. Big up Mama. Big up everybody out there.
All right. All right. You want to go to the shop?
I have no name. Carlos Corner Mahogany, jasmine, bread, bun, Johnny cake, stew chicken parts, and stew beans, Monday to Friday.
That's your 2 cents.
That's my 2 cents.
That's your big up.
Yeah, man.
Big up your business.
Catch me off balance, you know?
Yeah, big up your business.
All right, big up the bread, big up the bun, Johnny cake, the porta bun. But I big up God first of all.
That's your big up.
Yes.
That's your 2 cents.
That's right, my 2 cents.
Tired of replacing light bulbs? LEDs are what you need. LEDs last up to 30,000 hours. That's 30 times longer than incandescent bulbs, and up to 8 times longer than compact fluorescents. So less changing and less trash. Planet Earth thanks you. And the LED experts at Brothers Habet and Habet will help you find the best LED solution with colors for every room and mood, starting as low as $6.95. You can even get LED strips for home, office, and industrial use. So say goodbye to fluorescent tubes forever. And because they use up to 90% less energy, you save money. Money you can spend on other things. So head to Brothers Habet or Habet and Habet today. You can also call, email, or Facebook us. Have a brilliant day.
Babe, I'm going out to pay the water bill.
You don't need to go out. You could pay it from your phone. Look.
Babe, the credit card bill. I'll go pay it.
You can also pay it with your phone.
Babe,
Yes, love?
I need to go deposit the baby Sarah's pay.
You really want to go out, don't you? It's okay. I will make the transfer and you go play ball.
With Atlantic Bank Mobile, your personal banking experience is easier and more convenient. Bank your way with any of our digital channels and save time for what matters most.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Imagine getting rewards for your spending. Smart prepaid customers countrywide, it's time to level up with Smart Gains. Smart Gains are exclusive, limited time offers sent straight to your phone. We're talking irresistible rewards. You'll actually want extra credit, bonus data, and exclusive perks, all tailored to you. Because at Smart, we've always got your back. Don't miss out on rewards made just for you. Smart games, smart savings, smart you. Smart, bringing people together.
Tired of appliances that just don't last? Appliances that just can't keep up? It's time for a change. GE Appliances delivers reliability, innovation, and performance you can trust. The decision is easy. Don't settle for less. Choose quality, choose reliability, choose GE. Paid for by homeowners who demand better appliances.
Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. We take a little long off a break because I had to drink my tea. Thanks, Kim, Grab and Go. And thanks, rapper Roger Rushford. Thanks for bringing me tea for me. I don't know, math person. The number for call is 280-5848. And I like Belizean people, we really need to take one pause and start to look for our money in a serious way. The ones who vote, keep the vote pretty much the same set of people. Going forward the 4 years, the quality of life for most Belizean people not improve for the kind of money we're in the borrowing of we name and for no accountability. It worked for the people then were in a power and influence. That's why they vex when they're not in a power, because they live higher for the hag. So we Belizean people have one duty, one responsibility. It cannot be that we want to keep this, I so busy, the hustle, the try make our money for live. I don't got time for learn more about how government run and hold myself and others accountable. It cannot be that. All the students where they graduate for so much years, where most of them students go? What happened to most of them? I mean, I said before we got on a break. My position is that Belizean people know they get value for their money when it comes to the Ministry of Education. One of the main reasons that they happen is because they want church-state school system. When the former European colonizers, enslavers, in a weak case the British, when they create one school system, the school system never created for the children that would go to the school, become mentally liberated, have the best quality of life. That was not the intention. That the never was school make for. Now here we come, they're not European faces for the most part, the people will look like we, of African and indigenous root line that Belize. Do the same thing. And they know what they do wrong. How you know they know what they do wrong? Check most of them people who are ministers and CEOs. Check what school they send their children. If they're so confident in the church-state school system, majority of them, at least not for the duration of their entire academic life, send them to public aided schools. Good morning. Thanks for calling WB. Talk to me. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Can I be on the air, please?
You're up on the air right now.
Oh, okay. Yes, man, I want to talk about this thing with them Boots Martin yesterday, a lot of land we got that thing. And I think it's fair, Boots don't believe it, and I think it's fair because if it could happen to Boots, they want to take away his land. It could happen to anybody else. I think if he don't believe and he have kids, he got grandkids, whatever.
Wait, one sec. Where I want to make sure is that when we have this conversation that we know what we talk about. So where you understand that the situation with the former minister, what are your understanding of the situation?
Yeah, because they want to take away his land and it's unfair.
Okay.
Because Zavani won half of Belize.
Wait, sis.
Most of the people are billions.
Sis, you can't call people's name without evidence on the airwaves, because we don't got the money to go to court. So anything we say, and you call people's name, you have to got evidence. So just work with me. Where I ask you is, from my understanding, the land is not for Boots. So I need you. That's why it's important that we have to know what to talk about before we call. Boots are the contractor. Somebody else own the land. So we have to understand the issues before we could take one position on it. Right? So he not own the land. Like somebody where he no own the land, he not the contractor. So they hire him for develop the land. No, sis, I want you to hear me, sis. They're not so that go. Sis, I want you to hear me. I really want you to hear me so you understand what that is situation. Somebody else buy the land at a very cheap price, right? It was a public property. The land belonged to the people of Belize, Belizean Beach, right? Right around the election, some individual buy acres of land at a cheap price. That is questionable. As Belizean people, we have a right to question that for anybody we do it. Not just this one, and a lot of them do it under both administration. It's wrong. So make we understand everybody where in the business are taking Belizean land from Belizean people and privatize it and they sell it off, they're wrong. No matter which administration, they're wrong. We the Belizean people they lose, right? You own piece of land, sis? Sis?
Hello?
You own piece of land?
Well, I own a small piece.
Right, but you never want piece of beachfront land too?
I don't want piece, yes.
Right. So I just say land that is public property. We the Belizean people should have one way where we could no long lands department to talk about it on it, where we could go and see all the lands that Belize and see what the public land, private land, reserve land. How much the land costs per acre?
People can't get papers for their land, man. I don't understand. As a man, they just take so much hunk of land and just
sis, if you not got evidence, you can't call people names, sis. Well,
I have evidence
wait, listen.
The Ghana and they get 150 acres for SWUB village of southern Belize.
Okay,
and they just take it and send it to Guatemala. And 150 acres.
Miss Sister, listen. I don't want to have to cut the call, you know, Miss Sis. I don't want to have to cut the call. I just said to you, you might have the evidence. We don't have the evidence. We that the media house don't have it. So once you start to call people name, you never give me the evidence before you start to call people name. So I can't have you upon the air to call people name, they accuse people of things.
No, well, I mean, check the land papers, check the land papers.
No, that enough for, listen to me. You the call. All I ask you is, whatever you say, no call people name.
Oh, okay.
That we could get no problems with. No call people name. You might say you got evidence, but you never give me the evidence that the media host, so we could check it and say, yeah, this are the evidence. Call them, you know. Enter your call on media host. If you can't call people name, you could make, if you want to refer to a news story and say this news story may say so and so and so about this person, that's different. You're the call the news story, you're the call the media, or you can't just call people name like that, sister. But I hear your point. Your point is that enough fair for any Belizean, not have access to land what they could afford, and then other people.
And people could get honka.
Yes.
100
yes.
Acres, that's not fair.
Yes, I hear you. I agree upon that.
People can't even get 1 acre, half an acre.
I agree with your sister.
Because this villager, they tell about a lot of the villagers not even get 1 acre land, no, half an acre.
What village you talk about? Make us see if any news story they online.
Check it out.
No, but you see, listen to me. When you call, you have to get the information that you to call. A lot of village down south. You can't just tell me a village down south. You have to give me the name of the village. You see that's one of the things that I say right now. As Belizean people, we have to learn. We have to have the knowledge. When we talk, we have to know.
Well, this village, check it out. This village is next to Monkey River Town. Check it out.
No, I want you check it out, or you call back and tell me.
Monkey River Town. He get acres of land, hundreds of acres of land for every village, every town. That's why he get rich. He get rich off.
All right, sis. Make a end this call. Make a end this call, sis, because I don't know how the man get wealth. I keep the tell you. I don't want you to get the media house in trouble. So it's the last caution I have to give.
That man a devil.
Bye, sis. Belizean people, I had to try work with you now. And this is the point I'm going to make earlier. We as Belizean people have to look for we self and hold for we self accountable. Good morning. Thanks for calling WB.
Yes, lady. Morning, sister.
Morning, brother.
I like how you end the call. And I hope that caller they understand what they tell her. They look like they want to put you in a trouble. You understand? You don't believe that, no, understand clearly, you know. You so long you take the mess from they try to explain to her over and over. I like how you maybe explain it to her.
But we say, brother,
people slowly they understand, you know.
I hope so, brother.
People have some kind of bad idea in their head when they learn long time that the PUP is so worthless and disgusting.
Brother, the 44 years of independence we have, I ask you, for as long as you don't have Belizean and you live here, you see the quality of life for most Belizeans under both administration get better? You see that?
Well, I would say answer like this. In 2008, everything was good.
Oh, last.
2008, from 1998 to 2008, nobody can say it me bad in 10 years.
No, brother. No, brother. Come on, no. Come on, brother.
You said 1998. At the end of 1998, there was an election. The teachers and public officers and people stood up and said, we want to raise a thing. You know, the government said then, we are raise you up, but we are fire you same time. 2 weeks before the Christmas, over 1,000 people get fired, you know. The election called, the PUP won, under Mr. Musa as Prime Minister. And by 98 to 2008, 10 years. Nobody can say that was a worthless 10 years. They can't say that. If they say that, then they lie before Christ. Yes, check it out.
Brother, make I ask you this, right? Make I ask you this. You remember when in 2004 some cabinet members threatened to resign?
Yeah, you said, madam.
All right, me done. Me not got nothing else to say. So for you, come and say.
Wait, I can explain why they resigned. You see, they were listening to a minister in government at the time. And I will call his name, because he's out of government right now.
No, call nobody name. I no matter if they're in a government or not.
Okay.
If you're a minister of finance, you could say minister of finance, but you don't have to call a name.
Okay. I think he was the minister of something, but they live on Albert Street. Anyway, that guy and the brother, both of them was in the government. One 93 to 98, then the other one coming 98 to 2008. You see, but what they came in the PUP to do, broke up the PUP, because the first brother said, we are all messed up, and this other one send message to the one, and message to the one, and message to the one, mess up all the...
Brother, I say you tend to forget certain party leaning, so make I left this thing alone and go.
No, I'm speaking the truth, you know. That's what happened.
Brother, make we go along. As a matter of fact, right? So I look for one news story right here, and this stuff from August 12, 2004. 7 cabinet ministers threatened to resign.
Yeah.
And this is from 7 News. It said, it is a day that trembled to begin as the political power structure was shaken to its roots this morning when 6 cabinet members went into the Prime Minister's office and threatened to resign if the Prime Minister does not strip Finance Minister Honorable Ran Fonseca of all cabinet responsibilities.
Yeah.
All right. So I done. And I don't know we just got the news this morning. I don't know if you heard that the former cabinet minister and Minister of Finance that he died this morning.
Right? Remember the return?
Wait, no, I'm asking, did you hear that Ralph Fonseca died this morning?
Yeah.
Yeah. You heard that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we heard. That he was a former cabinet member, and under the Musa administration from 1998 to 2008. But anyways, I don't want that you carry me in that direction that will make a member
Yeah,
Say that
yeah.
I heard that the man
But
died.
I'm saying this though. The 7 have returned to the PUP when they walk away, right?
Brother.
Because they understand the conversation will make them run away.
Brother, you got a red flag next to your name when you want to tell me from 1998 to 2008, Belizean people no got nothing to complain about. Well, I don't agree with you. I don't agree with you.
Anyway then, you know, agree with me. So, you know, makes sense. I talk and call. Morning, sister.
No, you could call. I don't have to agree with you.
Oh, morning, sister.
Have a good day, brother.
Morning. I have a red flag.
What you say?
So, morning, sister.
Morning,
I
brother.
have a red flag. So, morning. Good morning.
No, I just say I don't agree with you, but not because we don't agree mean we can't talk. Right?
Right.
All right, brother. So this is a part of, it's 5 minutes to 8. This is a part of I think, learning what we have to do as Belizean people. We don't always agree. And it's okay, because nobody don't want to know, even kinda, everybody agree with everything all the time. But we have one duty for that, listen to one another without judgment. And make one effort for have evidence-based conversation. So we're not just to make general comments and make a lot of noise and not to listen to one another and cut off one another. I have been guilty of it. At the first front of the row, I say I've been guilty of it. But we really need to have the information or the knowledge so that, you see, that's one of the things where, and I don't like grassroots people who got the knowledge, because grassroots people sometimes got more knowledge than the people in our leadership, because they have weak communities and move and do things with people and we do things with you, and so I don't like grassroots people not have knowledge. They might have one different type of knowledge, but very knowledgeable people. So when you have somebody who get formal training and kind of talking in one technical language, we oftentimes grassroots people not understand. That's not one problem. But then keep do it because they work enough for their interests. As opposed to, let's say we have community meetings every month where Belizean people could just ask any minister anything. I mean, within reason. And the minister or the CEO or the finance person willing for answer. But we need to get comfortable with learning and asking questions and listening to the response and think about it. And if you don't know, say you don't know. But we the different we self on the service Belizean people. When we need to make one effort to understand how we are governed. And then we trust other people, we keep the trust other people, we oftentimes fail away. Because we just say, okay, if this person that my area rep, I trust this person to study and they understand as it relates to policy and law, the things will have one immediate impact on the lives of people in the constituency where the area rep they represent. And the entire book the area rep, other than the beg for something, the area rep could say, okay, listen, I know you want XYZ, but make I share with you how the system works. And take your time and listen to how the system works. So if when you go for get whatever you want to get, if somebody now tell you the right thing, you know, because you don't know how the system works. As Belizean people, we have to become lifelong learners. And respect to the one we done the do it, but we need more people to do it. It's like the two callers we're calling just now. I get the vibes that then the people who genuinely want better for Belize, but then they make general statements without evidence. And when you want to call people name, that's problematic. That's a no-no. It's 8 o'clock. It's time for a break. Stay tuned.
Earn B-Bucks and get a chance to win a $10,000 homecation with Benny's. Quality and savings.
Hey, Belizean students! Ready to unlock your future? The Social Security Board is now accepting applications for its 2025 scholarship program. Whether you're aiming for vocational technical, high school, or an associate degree, this is your chance. To qualify, you must be a born Belizean accepted to a school in Belize, entering high school, trade school, or college for the first time, demonstrate financial need and academic potential. Don't wait! Learn more and apply online today at socialsecurity.org.bz. Deadline is Friday, June 27, 2025. Remember, only online applications are accepted. Unlock new opportunities for success with a scholarship from Social Security.
Whether you are a busy person or stuck in traffic or having an adverse or very demanding circumstance, tension builds up, causing you to be stressed out. Stress attacks everyone, anytime, any age. And stress is a killer. Palm City? It's best to be alive than dead. So visit Freetown Drugstore to get options to relieve stress and to relax your mind.
Yes, sir. What can I do for you today?
I'm so stressed out.
Okay, I'm saying I help you right now. When I this daily, for 10 days, I am good after that, okay?
Okay.
Freetown Drugstore, 28 Freetown Road, where you are better off alive than dead. Freetown Drugstore, telephone 223-2876.
Morning Vibes for this morning, Friday, June 6, 2025. Back at the zinc fence, Sweet Southside Belize, to the phone number that 280-5848, 280-5848. And another intention for, come off the preach. And that, I really, at 59, I work for being, every day I work for being a better human being. And I don't always meet the mark. So I can give you an example. Thanks. We had to stand up. This is what I tell with children now. Hair so strong it stands by itself. I tell you, that's all. Serious African hair. Thanks, Harlan. Yes. So I'm not proud of my bad behavior, but I own it. So when I talk about it privately or publicly, because I had to show up about it. I just to say I'm as human as everybody else. I have my flaws. I make wrong choices. I work on it. So this past Wednesday, there was a meeting in Belmopan. Now, generally, I would not go to these meetings. Being in media in Belize going on 19 years, you see certain patterns, practices, and you could make the choice if you want to give your energy to certain things. So I saw the advertisement for it on Instagram. I thought it was interesting. So I said, I can sign up and go. They reimburse you for travel expenses. So I said, I want to take a day out. It was supposed to be a 2-day event. It ended up being a 1-day event. We had to talk about. They have one umbrella organization known as Belize Network of NGOs. So BNN, and then you have organizations or group or register as a non-governmental organization, could apply for membership to BNN, it then get accepted as a member of BNN. Now, what make BNN be a powerful player right now? Because BNN got organized, to my understanding, because they lobbied for a 13th senator. So a 13th senator, that is senator for the non-governmental organizations. That means the organizations don't got nothing to do with government. And to my knowledge, that would be the only group of people who are independent from the government. The government can't tell them nothing, right? They call NGOs, non-governmental organizations. Now, when I came to Belize in 2006, United Black Association for Development Educational Foundation made it operate under one name only, business name. At the time, that's the way you could do. You could just go to Belmopan. The option wouldn't give you one business name, even though I know one business, but for years, that's the option. So that's how we do work. We have one business name. Now, I took over leadership from someone else. But when I come to Belize, people encouraged me to register UAF as an NGO, and I said, why? They said, because that's how you get money from funders. I said, that would be the reason why I wouldn't, because then you do need money for your work. I never said no to that. But that never attractive to me. And from a number of people, working class people, or those who can afford it, raise the money or get funding, then I pay one attorney for do the paperwork for them register as an NGO. There's a strict criteria to it. Anyways, when I had some knowledge about non-governmental organizations. And one of the lead where I follow, and you could go online and check it out yourself. There's an Indian author and activist. Her name is Arundhati Roy. Make a find it. If you Google, it have to be Google. If you put in your search engine, NGOization of resistance, they have one article and they have one video. where I could listen to what she's sharing. I want to give XTV one interview, so I get up this morning and I'm going to do the research. So that's why I have this ready available, because I never had no intention to talk about this morning. But since we're not calling and I never bring no book, I have to find something relevant for talk about. So, and I said this because it's important, especially for working class people, understand what a non-governmental organization is. So the article is called NGOization of Resistance. And she said clearly, there are some NGOs that do meaningful work. So they're not a lot, you know, but you got some with the meaningful work. And she said that the NGOization of resistance that will hazard to mass movements. Pretty much, people in our communities, hey, my people, Alexei, thank you. I see it from XTV screen, XTV Belize Facebook and YouTube screen. I like when my technical director is in tune to the conversation and then you have to ask just, boom, Alexei Belial, young black Belizean artist, yay. Thanks, Alexei. So the point she's making is this, and I'll read some parts of it. I really want Belizean people get what NGOs are about. I'll tell you now up top, two are the big takeaways from NGOs. Non-governmental organizations get the majority of their money or funding from funders or philanthropists. Somebody got a bag of money or one group and they have one particular interest. So let's say for the interest that, look, I use one real life example, because that's the way I'm going to build my pan Wednesday. There's a group called Caribbean Policy Development Center. The name tell you what they're about. Caribbean Policy Development Center. Group of non-governmental organizations in the Caribbean. So you see how you have BNN, would be the umbrella organization for non-governmental organizations will apply for being a member of BNN and they become a member, but BNN are the umbrella organization. Well, in the Caribbean Policy Development Center, CPDC, that is the umbrella organization for NGO organizations in the Caribbean. Belize network of NGOs recently became a member of CPDC, the Caribbean Policy Development Center. And it take me time, when you could call in at any time, 280-5848. But it take me time because, especially after Ghana last Wednesday meeting, and in particular for working class people, you have one duty for ask questions if you don't understand something, and hold people accountable. We have to stop make people come in for we communities and take out what they want, and for we quality of life not get better. We have to stop it. So the Caribbean Policy Development Center gets some money from Open Society Foundation. Open Society Foundation, OSF, one of the largest philanthropic organizations in the world. It was started by a Jewish European named, what's his name again? George Soros. He's in his 90s now. He's a billionaire investor. Open Society Foundation is headquarters in New York. Open Society. Morning, talk to me. Turn your volume down in the background, please. Okay.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead and talk with me. You're on the air. Oh, caller gone. Okay. So, Open Society Foundation, at least YaYa started to do environmental justice work, I think 2019, 2020. Good morning, you're on the air.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning, Sister YaYa.
Morning, brother.
Based
You're on the air. Go ahead.
Based on this NGO's organization, if a small Belizean that is trying to become, they try to do something in this country, where and whom do he have to apply to, or how could he get the information to be part of this NGO?
Okay. You have an organization, brother, where the lead you're part of?
I'm just bringing this up because the other day someone asked me about this and then I didn't know what to answer.
Okay, I appreciate your calling and you asked the question. Currently, to my understanding, the water muddy when it comes to Belizean people understanding non-governmental organization and non-profit organization. There are two different classifications. But there is an entity charged with doing this work. So I want to find information and I want to say it before, but what I suggest to you, brother, that before you make one decision is that you need to know as much as possible about the difference between a non-governmental organization and non-profit organization and the work where you involve in it. You have to understand the difference. There's a need for it. UEF, before the year over, if you could get the person we want, we'll have one Saturday morning Zoom conversation. It will be broadcasted here on XTV, live stream on XTV, Belize, YouTube, and Facebook page. So every day people could understand they have two different classifications, non-governmental organization and non-profit organization. Right? So where you need, brother, more information. So I want to get the name of the, because when you apply for, let's say for non-profit, and then say you're eligible for get the non-profit, this entity gives out a certificate. I want to look for the name of the entity. I know part of the office there. They recently moved overstand, but the office don't have to my knowledge, don't have no marking on it. You see when you're going from Belize to the Ladyville? You there with me?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Your past transparent.
What I was trying to ask for is how we can get this. How is it that we can get information and when they will be having meeting?
No, so
where does
make I give you
on the air? How does people?
Okay. To my knowledge, they don't have one lot of people with this kind of awareness building. So they have one NGO law and they have one NPO law. They have the law. So it's up to you if you want. It's called the non-governmental organizations. Belize non-governmental organizations. I want to send it to my people right now. I give you my number. So if you want, contact me.
1 minute,
I could send you. My number is 671-8050, and I could send you the information.
8050.
Right. 671. Anybody want the information?
671. You said
671-8050. Where to send to you is the Non-Governmental Organizations Act, Chapter 315, Revised Edition 2020, showing the substantive laws as at 31st December 2020. Now, oftentimes you don't even understand where to read. I just tell you now, we have to learn. So that we are just going to give you that for the NGO law. Now they also have one non-profit one where they recently in the past 2 years drafted. I want to tell you what that name right now. I sent it to me. It's called the Non-Profit Organizations Act 2023 is what it's called. I want to send it to my person, to the technical director right now. So I just say, when you have two, everybody with a listener have one interest, I tell them the two law. You need somebody for break it down so you can understand, and then you as a group or organization or an individual decide which one then it might work for you. As far as structure, financial accountability, membership, who you partner with, all that. So that are two pieces of information where one useful for your brother. the 2 laws for non-governmental organization and non-profit organizations. Yes?
Okay.
All right, you got my number?
If I have another question, I might get in touch with you.
All right then, thanks a lot. Where are you call from?
Corazon.
Ah, what part of Corazon is that? Village or in the town?
In a town.
All right. When I'm younger, I was there at San Andres for quite some time with one Indian family named the Buckners. But that would have been in the 70s and 80s. Long time ago.
Okay, I come from San Andres.
Ah, you met I don't know if you remember the shop. They used to have one shop that Dune is the guy that was name. And one cement shop in San Andres, but this is the 70s or 80s, one big cement shop. I don't know if you don't remember it. They never they had a lot of shop then.
No, I don't really recall it.
Where are you born?
Huh?
Where are you born?
60.
In the 60s?
Yes.
Yeah, man, you should have known. But anyways, when I catch up. But thanks for the call and tell the people in Corazon, tune in to XTV and Creme Radio and buy a Mandala newspaper.
Okay, I'll do so.
Thanks, brother.
Have a nice day.
Have a good day.
God bless.
Call away from up north. I appreciate that, brother. Call and ask. So, asking questions is important. So, Open Society Foundation, restructuring in 2021. They were known to give funding to small groups of people or organizations. But in 2021, they gone through a major restructuring, and now they only focus on give money, like they don't give to working class, grassroots people, small organizations, community-based organizations. Marin, thanks for calling WB.
Yes,
Please
good morning.
turn down the volume, the back I could hear myself.
Yes, good morning, sis.
Morning, we got 4 minutes before I got a break. Talk to it.
All right.
Oh, no. You won't have to call back after the break. I just to catch your voice. You won't have to call back after the break, George. Because you need to call back after the break.
I could call back after the break.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we have to stretch talking. Yes. Thanks, George.
All right. Here.
Technical Director, volunteer for Belize Federation of Fishers. I get this is a long story. I don't rush it. If I don't finish it, I want to back here next week Thursday and I'll finish the story. But this Saturday, from 10 to 11, here on XTV, live streaming on XTV Belize and XTV Belize YouTube page. YUB Educational Foundation, of which I'm the chairperson, Belize Federation of Fishers, the executive director is Nigel Martinez, and Brother George Maivid. UEF can leave funding specifically for have Belize Blue Bond Zoom community awareness. Once a month, we have these meetings. We bring in guests, we reason. We never have none in May, so we have to get 2 in June. One tomorrow morning from 10 to 11. On a need for tuning, for learn as much about the Blue Bond because you have one impact on everyday life, one. But the fishers then bust on WB last week, at least at the first time I heard it. But the concerns about sargassum. Now, what I said, I never hear before, but you don't have to tune in tomorrow morning from 10 to 11 for listen to fishers and the administrators of Belize Federation of Fishers. And this that will happen when everyday people would genuinely represent working people, organize, have knowledge, and give thanks. We got our own media house. I can't stop thank the creator, African ancestresses and ancestors, our elders who are alive, the Belizean people who support zinc fence products. This media house has been instrumental as a way to have two-way contact with Belizean people at home and abroad and the international community. UEF use this medium heavily for share knowledge. It's unfair to ask anybody for give you them 2 cents for something, especially when you know the people don't have the knowledge. So at minimum, you need to have an awareness campaign, extended one, for share the knowledge so people will listen and they learn and they ask questions. So one time, then somebody ask them for them 2 cents, then could give one informed one, then could give one evidence-based one. And that's one of the things under my leadership that UF is known for. We want to share the knowledge. So George Carlin just thought, tell George you have to call back. So Open Society Foundation, they now, in 2021, they now give them money to then divide the country, the world into regions and then deal with themes. I could tell you because they did contact UEF and one of our international partners had a Zoom meeting with Open Society Foundation people last year, May, and pretty much telling them, for we work now align, this not work. Anyways, the meeting what I had Wednesday, that because Open Society granted Caribbean Policy Development Center one bag of money, I asked the representative more than once that how much money they give. No, usually we don't ask them question, but I asked them because I want to know how much money they're getting. And then the mobilizing, the coordinating organization of the Belize network of NGOs. And what are the focus on? Because I tell you now, Open Society Foundation focus on themes. They're focusing right now on sovereign debt. So they say that they get the money from Open Foundation because they want to implement one project towards building awareness and the impact where the increasing sovereign debt in the Caribbean have on people, and they want to work with what they call civil society organizations. Now remember now that non-governmental organizations organize this. Then people never invite me to their meeting. But I show up and I tell them to their face. I come to see who are the new players and for find out what on the platform of people as I going back to tell them when XTV give me an interview. I tell you no, I never behaved good. I had bad behavior. I have to work on it. I need to practice emotional regulation. But it's really difficult for me sometimes. I consider such spaces violent spaces. When you hear people say the things they want to say, and they like throw around the buzzword of grassroots, I ask them, what the grassroots people they want to like talk about? How come they're at the table? Why don't I always want to talk for somebody instead of make people can talk for themselves? What evidence do you have that only generally work for and on behalf of working class people? But anyways, I have to go to a break because George was stretch talking. Take away from this segment for now, non-governmental organizations are accountable to their funders, to the people where they get their money from. They're not accountable to people. When you hear that? Non-governmental organizations are accountable to their funders, not to people and communities. And that's one of the things where Aaron Dr. Roy said in the NGOization to resistance. Break time.
The risk of violence, the fear of violence, the reality of violence towards LGBT persons in Kenya is across the board, across the entire country.
We've had members who had been victims of hate crimes. Well, we would term it as hate crimes because they were attacked because of their gender identity.
There was violence happening to me, pulling my hair down on the floor and started to beat me. It's okay for them to hurt me or beat me up because the way I am. I didn't report anything to the police, but I keep it inside.
I never told my family about the levels of violence that I experienced. Years and years, I was being mocked, insulted, threatened with harm for being myself.
Welcome to Atlantic Online. In this step-by-step video, we will show you how to unlock your user. Click Unlock User on the personal login page. Enter your username, then click Send OTP. You will receive a 6-digit one-time password OTP via email and SMS. The OTP is valid for 5 minutes. Do not share this OTP with anyone. Enter the OTP, then click Unlock. If you did not receive the OTP, click Resend OTP. And if you still do not receive the OTP, please visit your nearest branch. Your account has now been unlocked successfully, and you can now log in. For more step-by-step videos, view our Atlantic Online playlist on YouTube to learn how to perform your banking transactions. Bank your way with any of our digital channels and save time for what matters most.
Nando's Wholesale is your market leader in Belize's wholesale industry when it comes to high-quality products at the most reasonable and competitive prices. With over 40 years in the wholesale business, Nando's Wholesale embraces the partnership of the hotel industry in Belize by providing world-renowned brands in wines, seasonings, condiments, and cleaners in industrial sizes, as well as small and large kitchen appliances and equipment. Nando's also takes pride in providing one of the quietest and most durable air conditioning systems in Belize with technical support and spare parts. Nando's Wholesale. Professional, reliable, effective, and prompt. Nando's Wholesale always delivers. Visit us at www.nandos.bz or send an email to nandos@nandos.bz. Or, even better yet, give us a call today at 222-500 or 280-8080 to speak to one of our sales representatives today.
Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. Sister YaYa holding over for Brother Noor Mohammed. WB morning, talk to me.
It's good morning again.
George, please lower my voice in the background.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
All right. Make it.
Are we okay now?
You're up on the air. Talk to me, George.
All right. Just going back to the term that you used, the NGOization. I never heard that before. But, I'll tell you that NGOs have definitely had an impact in this country, both positive and negative, of course. I think that in terms of nomenclature, I've heard the term, obviously, NGO, CBOs, and of course, you use the term NPOs. You could almost bunch them in a category that I would call sort of voluntary organizations to a large extent.
Mm-hmm.
But, in terms of on the education side, and our people, sometimes they know and sometimes they don't know. Some of the more noted NGO organizations in Belize, BAS, School Started your acronym, Belize Audubon Society. You have SEA, Southern Environmental Association. I believe they are based in Placencia. And of course you have TIDE, the Toledo Institute for Development and Environment. So, just background there. At one point, since I heard the term LNGO, and I NGO, and so I think that there was a separation of local NGOs and international NGOs. I would say that in terms of a history of NGOs in Belize, what I've seen is the sort of NGOs, and to a large extent I call them the conservation-related NGOs, because a lot of the work that they have done is in relation to the environment. I have seen a situation where much of the funding of the conservation-related NGOs in Belize have kind of dried up. Much of the international funding has dried up. And so there was a time when I know of one or two NGOs that actually went to the government of Belize for support. And now we're at a point where many of them do not even need to go to the government of Belize for support directly, because as we may or may not know, a part of the Blue Bun arrangement, the treatment of GOB with its debt, the debt for nature swap, has a conservation fund. And in that conservation fund, that is where I would say the majority of Belize-related NGOs are getting their funding. There are a number of NGOs that have come on board that has been a part of the feeding frenzy. And I have no apologies in terms of saying the feeding frenzy, because where there is manna, and especially free manna as in grant funding, there's a multiplication of these organizations to take advantage of that. You know, YaYa, and Krem knows that I have been an advocate now, I'm in advocate mode for fishers, because we have been saying that in terms of the benefits that could accrue to these nations, there's a group called the Belize Federation of Fishers that I volunteer for. And what that group does is to essentially focus on the livelihood of fishers. We have tried to tap into the grant funding scheme of these NGOs in as far as the conservation fund is concerned, and there has been no support. We have basically said to them, tell us what it is that would make us qualify, and there has been no constructive answer to that. So I would say that the information that I have in terms of what has been available thus far has been $18 million worth of funding has been available to NGOs through the conservation fund. That's not the only source of fund, but that's one significant source. And of that source, fishers have received absolute zero.
Well, now they've added, they're saying now, because they were one of the presenters at this gathering on Wednesday for the Belize National Debt Consultation. And what was said is that now there's the community funding, and some fishers up north got it. So we had Chelsea Gill Anthony, Communications Officer for Belize Fund for a Sustainable Development. She was one of the presenters. So we know, so then just add, so then they said, here what we say, so then Ghana and they add one community component. So they're not only environmental NGOs, even though then they get a bag of money, there is now funding for smaller organizations. And if they don't have capacity, they're willing to be, hold people's hand and manage the process.
Well, I hear you, sis, and I'm aware that in very recent time there has been some modest funding. I had my notes, but it migrated out of warehouse today. There has been some funding to support essentially the building of a room with furnishing. And I don't want to essentially degrade what that funding is for, but my view is that certainly in terms of the fisheries sector, what we need to do is to ensure that fishing continues to be a viable activity for Belizeans, both in terms of culture, the fishermen were just are fishermen. Fishers are a bunch of people that are independent-minded. They are not out there begging for handouts, but they need to be assisted when there's a time for them to be assisted. And those fishers are that independent mind that will go out there to catch fish for the Belizean table. They are out there to catch fish to produce employment, because those fishers in catching fish, they themselves are self-employed. But there's also those people who will be, you go to Vernon Street and you see people cleaning fish. You go to the cooperatives, the fishing cooperatives, for example, and there's a whole slew of staff to process, package, and market fish. So, you know, I am always saying, staunch advocate for saying, we have to make sure, we have to ensure that nobody is left behind. It's not that we are so much saying, give the NGO conservation community less, as much as we are saying, give the fishers organization more and not token more.
But look, listen to this, George, right? I'm looking at the Belize Fund for a Sustainable Future website, and it says Belize Fund approves Belize dollars 1.13 million for 8 new projects, prioritizing support for community-led conversation. 3 Lagoon Sustainability Program, that's $75,000. Creative Imagery's Motion Art Studio gets $74,960. Chinook's Fishermen Association got $75,000. Shark Fishers Association gets $75,000. Sea of Life Plastic Solutions Academy get $150,000 Belize dollars. Ecomar Barrier Reef Watch get $139,225. Belize Nutrients Belize Limited get $149,740 Belize dollars, and they left the best for last. World Wildlife Fund Mesoamerica get $375.60. So 2 fisher associations get on the list for that, George, and get $75,000 each.
But sis, that is the point that I was making, that it can't be a token contribution. There seems to be, in my view, a narrative that goes, we will help, but it will only be token. Sis, do you know what you can do with $75,000? If you look what that $75,000 is for, it's essentially to outfit an office. That is what it is for.
BFF had applied for funding to them for how much?
We had submitted funding for them for $150,000.
Belize or US?
This was a pilot scale project.
Was that $150,000 Belize or US dollars?
I believe it was Belize dollars. I could be wrong.
Tell me quickly what one me want the money for, and then I have to go to a break. What one me want the money for?
Essentially, there's a problem with fishing in Belize, and that problem is that fish stocks are being depleted. The traditional fishing grounds of Belize, the main barrier reef, and the atolls, the shallow waters of the atolls, are being overfished, whether it's lobster or conch or snapper or grouper. And we were saying what we need to do is to invest in deep sea fishing. And so we were looking at outfitting 10 skiffs, not industrial scale, small scale fishing, 10 skiffs with a crew of 3 each. We were looking to transform the life, if possible, of 30 people as a start, because that answers the question of food security, employment, and of course, potentially foreign exchange earnings. This has not happened. What I will remind people of is that the Belize fishery is peopled by fishermen that are poor. They are the poorest in the region. And so when you have a scenario where there is potential for help, it needs to recognize that there should be a certain minimum quantum of support that accrues to fishers in real terms that will get them to making a living, not tokenism in terms of, well, we do a little office and we'll run some workshops for you. Workshopism.
Okay, I have to go to a break. But if you don't want, George, I have to go to a break. But if you don't want to hear more, then go tune in tomorrow morning from 10 to 11, right, George?
Exactly. We'll be on tomorrow morning.
Yes. XTV Belize Facebook page, XTV Belize YouTube page, here on XTV local channel. Tune in. It's UEF and BFF 5th Belize Blue Bond Zoom Awareness Community Reasoning. Thanks, Brother George. Break time.
Take a deep breath. You feel that energy coursing through your body? That's because of me. I am the rainforest. I produce the air you breathe. I make it rain. I'm also your pharmacy. I'm home to more plants and wildlife than you're ever going to see in your lifetime. I work hard day and night, taking in all the carbon dioxide you produce and turning it into life-giving oxygen. My personality is singular. My biodiversity is mind-blowing. My generosity knows no bounds. But then, so does your greed. I give you everything I have for free. I don't want thanks. I just want respect. I want you to stop acting like I'm just bush. I want you to stop treating me like dirt. I want you to see life, not lumber. I want you to always be able to come to me and find your roots, to unwind, and yes, to always be able to breathe deep. That's a privilege many will pay for, but it's not about money. It's about having a future.
At Atlantic Bank, we stand as more than just a financial institution. We are your partners in progress, dedicated to fostering your success by providing tailored solutions to micro, small, and medium enterprises. Your successes are our triumphs, and every success story deserves to be celebrated. We pledge to stand by you every step of the way. Today, we celebrate the values that define you with your unwavering dedication, steadfast commitment, boundless innovation, resolute work ethic, and unyielding ambition. We will navigate challenges, seize opportunities, and continue building the future together.
Make light work lighter and quicker with switch technology from Axi Power Tools. Axi Switch technology breaks the bondage of power cords and grants you the luxury of freedom and precision. Switch one battery across all your Axi line power tools effortlessly, allowing for quick and efficient work. Cut the cords. Choose efficiency with Axi Switch technology. Only at Benny's. Quality and savings.
Let's take a journey through the core functions of the Social Security Board. It all starts with registering as an insured person, employer, or self-employed individual. Sign up for a portal account to manage your Social Security information online. Just provide accurate information and click Create. This will give you access to a range of services and benefits. Next, your contribution, along with investments and other income, are collected and distributed into 3 funds. This ensures that the SSB fund is securely utilized to support various benefit programs. The SSB is committed to providing essential benefits such as sickness, maternity, injury, and pension. These benefits are paid out to eligible individuals as a part of the Social Security coverage. We help you navigate through life's challenges with financial security. Annual surplus accumulates to grow the fund each year. This surplus is invested into various industries, contributing to the growth and development of our nation. With each passing year, the fund continues to grow due to the annual surplus and interest revenue earned from prudent investments. This surplus, along with reserves, helps to bolster the SSB fund and provide a safety net for those in need. We've arrived at the end of our journey to better understanding how the SSB works. We remain committed to serving you and building a secure future for all Belizeans.
So, Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes and Nearly Sunday Review. My sister Carl just now asking for call back. We have a few minutes so we could take another call. So call me back, sis. I'm going to share the meeting we are gone Wednesday. The Belmopan, organized by Belize network of NGOs with the intention of sharing information and sharing the impact of the increasing sovereign debt in the Caribbean region and the intention of mobilize or organize Caribbean civil society organizations. Now, they spent quite a bit of time on the Belize Blue Bond because we'll talk about sovereign debt. There were 40-something people who registered for attend this meeting Wednesday, but only 20-something attended. There were individuals who represented themselves, and then there were people who represented organizations. Majority of the people never know about the Blue Bond, like details. I only know because of the work I do for UEF, and I have people around more know different than me, more than me. Last summer, me and 2 European men from the University of Antwerp traveled this country for Ghana fishers for asking specifically. And I saw for the first time Ghana, Sardinia and Chinook's village, gone down south, the Dangriga, talk to fishers, talk to Belize Federation of Fishers, and ask them what do you know about the Blue Bond. Most fishers don't have no clue what the Blue Bond is. So when them people come around, they ask 1 or 2 questions, they never ask for clarity. So one of the ways that they fail, and we know this keep to happen, what they call consultation, they're not meaningful people engagement. Before you could ask people for their position for something, you ought to have some evidence that you had an ongoing awareness, education campaign, so people have the knowledge for process, for reason about, and make one decision on it. So, bottom line is, I alert Belizean people that this is the way it happened. Now, I want to know what the Open Society budget, because that's how you know how people serious for what they do. If most of that budget they go towards salaries, what do they use? It's a conversation worth having. It's just that NGOs are not to be leading this process because most of them loyal to funders or accountable to funders, not to people. So I just going to ring the bell for making them know this is what happened on the ground. It's time to shut up the shop. We have to thank our security guard, Roger Rushford, right now that's Shane Flowers, in the XTV control room, technical director, Alexa Belisle, and chief engineer, Cliff Lewis, and downstairs at Crime Radio, the one and only, Tony G. Larry G, I understand you have a death in your family. On behalf of Zinc Fence, deepest condolences to your family, Larry Guerrero. He's the Crime Radio personality most weekdays. And so, remember that Friday, wanna make good choices, wanna take care of yourself out the road. And I saw hurry want to finish 9 o'clock. Actually, they're 2 minutes to 9. But I'm allowed in it 2 minutes so that when I got 2 minutes over, they can't tell me nothing. Oh, this show will repeat this afternoon at 3:30 on XTV. You could listen to it at your convenience at XTV Belize YouTube, XTV Belize Facebook. Until then, Belizeans, I should be back here next Thursday. Honor the people and save the people.
Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice of opinion and place your calling. Be yourself, see yourself. This is the show my people. Believe our hopes so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out. It's the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No respect on selfishness.